fellow Toastmaster, are you excited? I always excited for this day, and I am happy to share you the benefits of being a member of Toastmaster. So let us start by prayer. We are now on our session 2 or day 2 of our Speechcraft. May I call on Toastmaster Marian Estuesta sa team Marian. Please take your sound. Okay. Yes, okay. That's okay.
Okay po. Lord, thank you very much for this beautiful day and life that you have given us. Thank you for this opportunity to learn and grow. Thank you for giving us a chance to be a part of this Rebag family and Speechcraft training. Thank you also, Lord, for all the people behind this. May we humbly ask for your guidance this night. May you open our hearts and ears to listen. Please grant us your wisdom and understanding. We claim it in your mighty name, Jesus, and we are asking you to give it to us. Amen. The name of Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Marian Estuesta. And let's continue. Our agenda for today is, again, the table topics, educational portion, general evaluation, and coaching session at the latter part. And let me remind you, everyone, that practice using camera on your laptop or computer. Familiarize ourselves with the meeting software. And I know that you already know this. Then let's go for our grammarian for today to give us the word of the day. She is the Vice President of Education of Dasmariñas Toastmaster Club and President of Maxim Toastmaster Club. She is an industrial engineer. Let us all welcome our grammarian, Toastmaster Alex de la Cruz.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yeah. Team Alex.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I would like to just share my screen. Now, everybody, are you ready for the idiom of the evening? Now, fellow Toastmasters and our beloved mentees, we know that in a speech or in a matter of public speaking, it is important for us to enrich our vocabulary, which includes other words for simple things, simple words, and for us to give more flavor to things that we say, to make it more enticing to the ears. Now, I would like to share to everyone the idiom of the evening. That is, as keen as mustard. When we say mustard, we all know that it's something that we put in our hot dog sandwich. It's a condiment, and it has a very bright colored tint of yellow. Now, with how it looks like, how happiness-inducing yellow can be, mustard, or as keen as mustard, means very excited and enthusiastic. I would like to make an example for that video. Kids are always as keen as mustard to learn new things around them. If I will be able to connect it with Toastmasters and in our beloved Speechcraft session, I would say that the people here are learners. They are as keen as mustard to learn more about public speaking. I hope you learned something from me tonight, and I would like to give back the floor to Toastmaster Gerry Bustamante. Thank you.
Thank you so much, TM Alex. And as I've said, I am excited and also I am nervous. But I had to take charge because I am the Toastmaster of the day. So I will share my screen again. Last meeting, we experienced the table topic session, and tonight we will have a exciting table topic session again with our table topic pastor. She is a member of Toastmasters since 2009. Past Division K Governor handling 12 clubs in Cavite, Laguna, and Manila. Past Area 78 Governor, founder of 2 clubs in Cavite, Maxim and Dasmariñas City Toastmaster Club. Currently, the VP Education of DCTMC or Dasmariñas City Toastmaster Club. A property management professional, mother of 2, and grandmother of 3 lovely kids. Let us all welcome DTM Luisa Ruben.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, to all the Speechcrafters, and welcome to session 2 of your Speechcraft. Let me share my screen. So it's my honor to be your table topics master for this evening. As you all know, or maybe you still don't know, for the first timers, this portion is the most exciting part of a Toastmasters meeting. Actually, it's not exciting, and as a first timer, you will feel nervous, but look at it as an opportunity for you to practice your unprepared speeches in impromptu speech. Now remember the timing rule. Only a maximum of 2 minutes until 30 seconds. May I know who is the timer? Gerry?
Our timer is TM round.
Okay. If you could just spin our timer, then we will know if you are already on green, 1 minute, yellow, 1 and 50 seconds, and red, 20 minutes. When you see the red light, you need to wrap up so that you can finish in 2 and 30 seconds. Now, turning the table up, SMG, PPF, and many more. But this evening, let me just show you 2 patterns. The easiest one is the prep. It means point, reason, example, point. Example. What is your favorite vacation location? My point is number 1, my favorite is in Boracay. Why? Because I love the beach and the white sand. Then example, I remember when we went there 3 years ago, I went with my family and we enjoyed every minute of it. Then you go back to the point. That is why I love to go to Boracay. That is the PRC. We also have the SMG, the story, message, game, we're in. Start with the short story, very short story, and then the message out of the story and what you have gained in that story. Actually, this pattern is quite advanced, but strong. Okay, there are other strategies, yes, but if you do not have any more and you are nervous, I suggest that you speak straight from the heart. Okay, start. I will call 4 speech practices, not speakers. Okay, let's go to the first one. Can I call Speechcraft Vienna? Speechcrafter Vienna, are you ready? Hello, Speechcrafter Vienna. Hi. Are you okay to try our question?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, timer, get ready. The question is, what's the hardest thing you have ever done? What is the hardest thing you have ever done? Speechcrafter Vienna, let's give her a round.
Thank you for the question, PM Lisa. The hardest thing I have ever done was when I gave birth to my child. He is the first child. That's the first time also that I've given birth, and I did not realize that I will be able to go over all the difficult challenges all throughout carrying the baby up to giving birth. So that's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Thank you so much, Speechcrafter Vienna. I do agree with you, especially the first child. And no one will be ever prepared on giving birth. It's really the hardest thing in the world. But it's also the most blessed day, especially when you already carry your baby with you. Okay, I would like to call second Speechcrafter Nelda. Are you ready? Speechcrafter Nelda? Hello, Speechcrafter Nelda. Are you ready to take the next question? Just try. Don't be nervous.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Hello. It's okay. You know, we all gone through to this phase. I am also nervous when I first answered my very first table topics question, but it's okay. Okay, the next question for you is, describe your perfect day. Describe your perfect day, Speechcrafter Nelda.
Good evening, everyone. Describe my perfect day.
Yes.
In my situation as a single parent, because my husband is died already, my perfect day is like to do all the tasks that I'm going to do, including my real estate business, and also my obligations to my family, and of course I can do all the things that planned during the day. Is my perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for trying. Thank you for trying to. I'm very proud of you because you're a kind of person that describes your perfect day if you were able to help other people, right? Because you are working because of your family, right? So I commend you for
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Okay, now let's go to the third. Welcome to the third Speechcrafter. May I request Speechcrafter Maria Lourdes? Can you try the next question?
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening, ma'am. Okay, the next
Maria
question
Lourdes
is for you.
Libastero. Am I the one you're referring to?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, this is your question. If you only had 1 week left on Earth, what would you do? If you only had 1 week left on Earth, what would you do?
If I only
Speechcrafter
have,
Maria Lourdes.
okay, thank you. If I only have 1 week left on Earth, I will spend it with my brother, my only brother, and my 2 sisters. As you all know, we are all orphans already. Our parents died years ago. So I think that's the best thing to do. Best thing to do if I have only 1 week left in this earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Speechcrafter Maria Lourdes. And it all boils down to love. You know, everything in this world is just temporary, but love remains, especially with our family. Okay, one last Speechcrafter. May I request Toastmaster Elvis to answer the next question. Toastmaster Elvis, are you ready?
Ready? I'm ready.
Okay, this is your question. If you had 3 wishes, what would it be? Like a genie. If you had 3 wishes, what would it be? Speechcrafter Elvis.
Good evening, Speechcrafters. If I had 3 wishes, that would it be? First, I want to talk to my late mother. Second, I want to spend the rest of my days with my family, my wife and my son. Number 3, I want to go to church. Why? Because my mother died without me seeing her in person. So, for the last time, I want to talk to her. Number 2, I want to spend the rest of my life with my wife and my son. Because it's all I have. After that, I'm gone. Number 3, I want to go to church because I want to speak and communicate with my brother Knights. I'm a member of a fraternal organization of the church. The message is that I want to spend the rest of my life meaningful. After you're gone, you will be forgotten. So I want to be implanted to the minds of my family and my friends. That's all.
Wow, let's give Speechcrafter Elvis a big round of applause.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you very much, Speechcrafter Elvis, for sharing your feeling with us. It's quite hard. It's really emotional when it comes to our parents. Me, myself, if I will have one last trip, I want to be with my mother once again. Thank you very much. It's very powerful and emotional. Again, it all boils down to love of family and love of God. Because everything else in this world, especially this pandemic, will go and useless for us. The only thing that is important is our family and God in our lives. So, this is my last question. Thank you very much for all your responses. You are all great speakers. Keep on talking, keep on answering table topics because it will make you a better speaker. Back to you, Toastmaster Gerry.
Wow! Thank you so much, DTM Luisa, for that such wonderful, engaging table topic. And I really feel as keen as mustard like now. Like I always said to our fellow CRBs that I am really excited to share you the benefits of having here in Toastmaster. And like now, your topic is very relatable for us, especially when I heard your response to table topic. Now, let's go to another portion. Thank you, DTM Luisa. We have so many learnings now, so okay, sorry. Now, without further ado, let's us all let's us all go to our first educational portion that will give us by our guest for today. Our guest for today is a passionate educator and an aspiring leader of the youth. A former retail marketing professional in the Middle East, handling 4 countries: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates. He is currently a deep ed TV national teacher, broadcaster handling principles of marketing and business finance. He is a proud member of Toastmasters International since 2008, a humorous speech contest champion, a distinguished Toastmaster. Let us all welcome distinguished Toastmaster Ramed Borja.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gerry. While we're preparing for it, let me share my screen. So today we are up for So let me share. I hope you can see my screen now. Speechcrafters and
Yes.
yes. Okay, let me just, you're seeing yourself now, right? It's good to see yourself on screen. Okay, let me present and start with this. Okay, start reading. Okay, so good afternoon everyone, good evening everyone. Fellow Toastmasters and of course to our Speechcrafters, most of you are real estate broker, am I correct? Right?
Yes.
How would you close a deal if your body language is a major issue? I want you to choose from these 2 photos that I have here. Whom do you think will close a deal and encourage a new buyer to take the house? Is it this one? Take a look. Or is it this one? Then I have Toastmaster Gerry. Whom do you think? What was the cue? Is it on the first photo or the second photo?
The second photo.
The second photo. So most of you are real estate brokers. Even before you go to a client, you prepare. And when you prepare, you ensure that you close that deal. Same goes with becoming a good communicator and a good public speaker. Your body counts a lot. Your language on how you express yourself. From the minute that you show up during the first meeting, standing up, then looking at eye to eye with every sales prospect that you have. That's very critical that you know the secret of body language. In 2012, there is a movie from Eddie Murphy, and he expressed himself in a non-verbally because he was only given 1,000 words long enough to live. And if he goes beyond that, chances are he might die in an instant. So what did you do? If you were in the same predicament, what will you do? Can I ask a speech crafter, Mr. June? Sir June? If you were in the same predicament of Eddie Murphy and you only have 1,000 words to discover what matters most, what will you do?
Of course, I will.
Okay? Go ahead. Toastmaster June, what will you do? You only have 1,000 words to live, and that only matters. What will you do then?
Sorry, my internet.
It's okay, it's okay. Go ahead.
So did you hear? Did you hear?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I said I'm going to use body language or sign language in order to say the words.
Okay, thank you so much, Speechcrafter June. Indeed, you're right. Most of us need to use body language for us to maximize our time. But did you know, fellow Toastmasters and Speechcrafters, there are 700,000 possible body signals that you can send. And I was watching you and I was closing my camera and I've noticed some of the body language that you are all using while you were trying to answer the table topic. You're probably waiting to be voluntold by Vicky and Luisa. Some of you were looking somewhere else. Some of you were like, okay, I don't want my eyes to, lock in with Vicky and Luisa. I don't want to volunteer. Or probably, since I'm a public school teacher and I am now with TV, every time I ask a question, most of the students will look at the ceiling, will look at the floor. Or same goes when you are meeting with a client who wants to probably lease a space, probably buy a new property. You knew for a fact that your client will be vulnerable in closing a deal if the body language is appropriate, and you can see to it that this prospect can sign the contract immediately by having the appropriate body language that they are expressing themselves. Like probably when they are nodding, or probably when they are smiling, looking at you, or probably they don't want to check on their phones and give their 100%. Same goes with you as a public speaker. Even before you speak, you are already communicating. The way you handle yourself when you stand presenting a space to be leased in front of a company inside a conference room. Or probably when they are asking you to present during a coffee break or during a lunch break, and you're going to have a lunch meeting to meet a client. The grip of your handshake will tell already what type of person are you. And those are forms of non-verbal communication. As a communicator, and of course as a communication management specialist, there are 9 types of non-verbal communication that we are already performing every day. And some of which are personal appearance, kinesics, physical environment, phonemics, vocalic, haptics, proxemics, and paralanguage. For this evening, I will share to you some secrets of a good body language used by excellent public speakers. So body language in the context of Toastmasters will focus on the following: your physical appearance, your facial expressions, your eye contact, your posture, your body movement, or probably your gesture. So these are all the body language that we'll focus on tonight. And the next question is, why is it important? Why is it that a good public speaker and a good communicator should understand the importance of good body language? Number one is it increases self-confidence. Of course, when you want to close a deal with someone, you want that client to feel that, hey, you can trust me. I'm good at this. Listen, I wanted to sign that contract after this presentation. It goes with public speaking. When you speak in front, and you know how to use your body language properly, then it increases your self-confidence and it raises your self-esteem. And it also attracts the audience. And it's very good in public speaking, especially when you speak in a large crowd. And then enticing everyone, I want you to invest on this property in Bustamante, or probably there in Fort Bonifacio. And I want you to invest in that building and lease a space. And it helps you also to become more successful in life. You can also have that charm when you speak and you use that body language properly. And of course, it improves the workplace and relationship success. By the way, right now, here in Upland, Cavite, it's almost raining cats and dogs, and we're holding our fingers that there will never be another bariatric volcanic eruption from Taal. But since this is a Speechcraft program, I should be ready and I should be continuing my project with you. And this is our service to our dear rebat members, as members of Toastmasters. As we move forward, your first impression is based on, number one, 55% is on body language. And then, of course, the tone of voice. And of course, 7% is on your spoken words. So according to Carol Kinsey Gomez, the silent language of leaders, how body language can help or hurt how you lead, we are genetically programmed to look for nonverbal cues and to quickly understand their meaning. And most of the time, we listen to a great extent with our eyes. It means that we want to scrutinize everything when we meet someone. Is she a viable client? Will she be able to afford to lease a $200 million property? Or probably a family that can invest to 7 million RFO land sold in one of the posh subdivision in Upland, Cavite. Next is, now that you know that body language is very important, the next question is, Vivian Lamed, what am I going to do? Most of us are afraid. Public speaking, when I experienced it, when I first joined Toastmasters, I was quite hesitant. When I first attended the Toastmasters meeting, I was intimidated because everyone was grandiose in how they communicate. They were perfectly enunciating their words, their gestures, and their body language really hooked me in and made me listen. And the secret on this page. Number one, always remember that public speaking and using body language, you don't need to treat it as a stress, but it's in a mode of relaxation. When you are given an opportunity to speak in front of people, you need to relax and calm your nerves. And imagine it already. I'm going to be successful. All my nerves are hitting on me, but I need to breathe in. Proper breathing exercise. Inhale, exhale. You can feel the presence of the oxygen coming into your nostrils, and then of course the carbon dioxide going out of your mouth. Next is, preparation is the key. Every time you are given an opportunity to speak in front of people, you need to prepare. There's no shortcut for success. You don't have to win. You might be the smartest person in the room, but if you don't prepare, chances are these people will hook you. And it will be very difficult for them to understand what you're saying, especially if you don't prepare at all. So be careful. Relax, prepare, and of course, don't forget, practice. Practice makes perfect. That sounds a cliche, but as keen as a mustard, practice will catapult you to success. And it's very important that you always practice. So here are the things specifically on how you can prepare for a speaking engagement, or probably when you speak in front of people. or probably in any normal situation in life. Appearance and facial expression. You have to look clean and neat. And you have to open up. You have to be natural. You don't have to be stiff. Yes, yes, I know that. Yes, I'm very good at it. Oh, I know you already. I know that already. You don't have to tell me. No. Body language should be meaningful. You should maintain a natural stance. You should be expressive and should always be visible for the right reason. And always remember, every time you meet a client, everywhere you go, it only takes 6 to 8 seconds to make an impression. So make sure that you impress them well. Next, since we are all meeting online and most of us are having this pinhole and you will be looking at it and everywhere is just on the Zoom right now, you need to look credible. You need to make sure that you look professional. I want you to ask yourself, every time there is Zoom meeting with a client or probably here in Speechcraft, do you look credible? Do you maintain that confidence within you? Next, every time there is a webinar or in every face-to-face conversation, eye contact is very critical and very crucial. Eye contact is looking direct to the pinhole of the camera. In this case, since it's a online meeting, strive for 100%. So don't look like this. Yes, I understand that. Or here. Oh, I get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. And don't have an eye contact with your notes. Or don't have an eye contact with your slides. Not even at the floor. Oh, your speech was amazing. Not overhead. Like, oh, okay. Oh, that was great. Oh, it was fun. No, eye contact is this. Look straight directly to the eye and then communicate. Next is, here are some eye contact meaning. So if you want to be friendly, there's a triangle there within the nose that when you look at that, it looks like you glance the area and you show that you are friendly. Okay? So next is controlling. Here, when you look at this, it means that you are in control of the situation. And most of the time, we have to look into this triangle so that we don't feel nervous at all. And if you go down here, this one, it only means that in the sensual glance area. So you need to be very careful. Okay? You need to be very careful because when you look at this, chances are you might be sending a different meaning to your target audience. Next. Okay. Having a technical here. So I want you to look at the Zoom camera right now. Most of the time, when I meet someone online, it looks like the X. The beautiful lady with an X. Either nakaganyan siya. It's either, oh, really? Oh, or probably you're not on the right position of the camera. Okay? So make sure that when you look at the camera, you position it probably in front of the window so that there will be natural lighting. But since we are in an evening meeting, a ring light will help. And of course, if there's a light in front of you, it will automatically capture your beautiful face. So you have to position the camera right. Right at this very moment, I'm not seeing myself because of the presentation tool of Zoom. Ideally, you want the camera to be straight or slightly above you, pointing downward for the most flattering angle. If the camera is angled up at you, you'll show up your nose hair and a lot of the chin. So make sure that you position your camera properly. Now, if you are in a stable position, like having your own work area, position it properly. Or probably if your laptop is very low, I want you to get some of your books and then put it under the laptop. And then, like what I'm doing here, if I can show in the camera right now, you just have to put the laptop on top of your books or probably put it in a more comfortable table so that when you communicate, you don't look very small or probably too high. Just, it should be perfectly fit. Next is, are you screen ready? So this is very important because this shows also how body language is very critical. Is there too little headroom? Or probably because of my height, I'm already putting a lot of minimal space in my forehead. So it cuts me. And then probably there's too much headroom. Oh really? It's fine. When you position your camera, make sure that it is just right. Next, always be in the moment. I will remember this because in Das Marinas, there is a famous barangay captain. I know you know the issue. There's a barangay captain. They were caught in a very uncompromising position. So when you are in front of Zoom, always be in the moment. Always. You have to be cautious on how you look at the camera, especially when you're opening up your camera. Make sure that you look presentable. And of course, posture. So you need to balance your weight. Usually, when you are on a face-to-face conversation or probably in a face-to-face meeting with Toastmasters, when you are standing up, you need to balance your weight. You don't have to sway around and have that, unnecessary mannerisms, which is it lessens your credibility when someone looks at you. There should be no shuffling, Most of the time we have that extra mannerisms or probably in Filipino we call it nangunguyakoy. There is something on your knees that, it's trembling. You have to calm down, okay? Or probably doing a lot of cross legs when you're standing. So the pace should be steady and you don't have to shake your legs. It looks like it's a little bit wobbly and it shows that you're not confident speaking at all. And every time you do a conversation, always remember that when you are two, make sure that you are communicating face to face with a respectable distance. When someone is engaging or probably wants to join your conversation and there's a third person, you have to angle yourself a bit to accommodate that person. Now, if you're the third person and you want to join the conversation, especially we as real estate broker, we want to network and meet a lot of people as much as possible. If there are two persons and the posture is that they did not change or the angle is not suitable to accommodate another person, that's a body language cue that probably they are speaking about a confidential matter and you are not allowed to join in during the conversation. So you have to be very careful, especially we in the business of sales and marketing. When you're talking to people, you have to be very careful with your body language and of course knows how to read body language. Next is proper posture. So right now, I know you're standing. There are 4 different types of sitting position. The slouch sitting, the forward head posture, the sitting at attention, or probably the proper sitting posture. Okay, so make sure that your back is relaxed. There's no tension. When you are attending a webinar meeting that you're supposed to sit around 2 hours. And then when you are standing, don't sway back. There's an anterior pelvic tilt, which is usually done when you are a beauty queen. There's a deep thoracic posing, forward head like this. So it should be, the good posture is there should be a line. There's an invisible line within your body that when you stand, you command attention and you have a commanding authority. Next is Body movement. You need to master the space. When you are speaking in an auditorium, you have to make sure to follow this number. 1, center, then number 2, go to your right side of the stage, and then 3rd in the middle, and then 4th, as you can see in the diagram, 4th on your left, and then go back to the center. It means that you want to capture the different angles of the audience, and you want them to listen to you. I'm here because I have a voice and I can share something meaningful. And you moving around is showing your audience that, hey, I am in control. You listen because my voice matters. Avoid the following bad habits. When you are presenting in front of the crowd, or probably presenting using these props, I want you to look at the lady in front of a board. So that board, you don't have to let your back face your audience. In theater, we call that blocking. So every time you show your back to your audience, chances are you're losing them. And don't let your body block your visual aid. In this case, it's the board, the paper board. And then when you are using your lectern, chances are there are tendencies that because we are so nervous, we want to crush the lectern. We want to put our hands into it. We position our arms because we are so nervous. So make sure that you provide eye contact with your audience. And then, of course, avoid standing, crossing your leg in front of a crowd. And, of course, don't slouch and like this because it's very unprofessional. You still should command presence and, of course, authority. Next is, these are some of the memes that I got online. Who among you here can relate to this? Most of your coworkers are ready for another day of Zoom meetings. So during your first Zoom meeting, probably you are so prim and proper. You're wearing your suit and you look so handsome. But on your 10th Zoom meeting, chances are, what? It's already Zoom meeting. Okay, go there and attend the meeting without any proper hygiene, without even taking a bath. So you need to be careful. Remember, they might not smell you, but how you compose yourself in front of the camera counts a lot. So far, we have discussed the following: setting for success, the importance of your physical appearance, your facial expressions, your eye contact, the posture and use of space. Now let's proceed with gestures. So what is gesture? The gesture is this. I hope you can see my hand. In Dead CD, we were trained to put our arms here. So I hope you can see me, but the camera is probably too high, but you should maintain an open posture. Open posture is this. You need to be natural. And this palm should be seen by the audience. In body language psychology, the open palm symbolizes that you don't have anything to hide. Trust me. Listen to me. You need to be relaxed. Focus on me. I want to get your attention. When you stand, no grabbing. Don't, most of my students would hold a hanky and then crush it with their hands. Don't put your hands in your pocket, not even behind your back, and not even fidgeting. Fidgeting is like when you're so nervous, and it shows in front of your audience. And of course, palming the communication. Palm up is often described as 84% positive impact. You can see that most successful communicators would have this palm up position. Okay? So, and then when you put here, it's stiff. It shows that you're stiff. And that means not so good. It means that, hey, I'm smarter than you. You listen to me. It doesn't work that way. So this is a closing position. It's not opening. It only means that the one you're talking to is not interested in you at all. So just be very careful. Now, when suddenly there's a shift of hands, when you're speaking to someone, it means that they are agreeing on what you're saying. And they're expressing, hey, I understand that. I've experienced that. I believe you. Or probably don't put it also here, just hands. And you say, okay, oh yeah. It doesn't work that way. Palming up position should be expressive, like this, at this level. Next is a classic example of a very good public speaker. And you can see how expressive and how the communication has a commanding presence. I'm not saying you will be the same Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. But what I'm saying is that you can take inspiration on how she communicates with authority by using body language appropriately. Overall, your body language is very important. To sum it up, it talks about your physical appearance, your facial expressions, your eye contact, your posture, your body movement, and of course your gesture. Because it expresses emotions. It creates relationships. It regulates communication and it replaces so many words and it releases nervousness and tension. This is from ECMA by Knapp and Hall 2006 in the Body Language Handbook of Communication. So fellow Toastmasters and to our dear Speechcrafters, you are very fortunate that right at this very moment, you can use this tool not only to become a good public speaker, but also how to use this in closing a sale and becoming an effective real estate broker. And as Konstantin Stanislavski said, the language of the body is the key that unlocks the soul. So make sure that your actions matter. Back to you, Toastmaster Gerry Bustamante.
Wow! Thank you so much, DTM Ramed, for teaching us how to use our body language. Are you learning our CRBs right now? Our fellow Toastmaster, future Toastmaster.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Now we can use our learnings on how to use our body language on delivering our speeches. Wow. Fellow Toastmaster and our co-brokers, are you ready to our next session? Because our next portion is the delivering of prepared speeches of our prepared speaker, 5 prepared speaker tonight. Without further ado, let us continue our meeting, and our first prepared speaker for tonight is a licensed real estate broker since 2015, a registered nurse, registered nurse and stem cell advocate, happily married for 24 years. Wow. With 2 children, age 22 and 20. She will be evaluated by our guest for tonight from Malaysia, Toastmaster Marnie Chenli Core. Let us all welcome our first speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Mabi Bautista.
Good evening, everyone. Again, I am Mavi Bautista. The experience of working in the hospital before had greatly influenced the way I value health. Do you hear me?
Excuse me, TM. We can see your video.
Yes, Mabi, we can hear you loud and clear.
But your picture, your video, please.
Sir, I have no video.
Please remove your green background.
Okay, I'll just take my background.
That's better.
Hindi, iba yung kita. Naka-reverse. Naka-reverse. Of diseases like cancer, stroke, kidney failure, heart diseases, uncontrolled hypertension, and many more, I have realized that prevention of diseases should be of paramount importance. Because of that, I have refreshed on my philosophy in life, and let me share you some of this. So one, I believe that it is never too late or too early to start working towards a healthier you. So whatever is our present state of health, we can always start now to eat healthier, to exercise regularly, and get that elusive 8 hours of sleep. Second, adaptation of preventive measures like healthy lifestyle can save one not only from hospitalization expenses, but it can save one also from the stress of coping with an illness, and can save one from not performing his or her role as a spouse, as a parent, as a breadwinner, or as a son or daughter. As I refresh my memory, at the onset of this pandemic, I was so worried of my health as well as that of my loved one, most especially my father, who is having flare-ups of his respiratory conditions. So despite taking 9 medications that his doctor prescribed, without warning, he would go into bouts of coughing, breathlessness when doing simple activities like walking just a few steps and taking a bath. Before the pandemic, he was hospitalized 3 times in De La Salle Medical Center and was almost hooked up to a mechanical ventilator. My father has chronic obstructive pulmonary disease because he was a smoker for 50 years. Truly, God answers our prayers, because last July 2020, I happened to learn about an oral stem cell product named Portier Placenta. I took it first and it easily dissipated my COVID signs and symptoms. I researched about its ingredients and watched webinars of medical doctors talking about it and recommending about it. And I have also met several patients, cancer patients, stroke patients who had survived and are now free from their medical conditions, while all the while taking this Portier Placenta together with their doctor's treatment. So when I was finally convinced that this is safe, I had allowed my father to take this, and lo and behold, since the pandemic started and up to now, my father has no flare-ups or no atake as we call it in Tagalog, and has never been hospitalized. But before this oral stem cell, he would just be very breathless and would just stay in his room 24/7. But now he is able to walk outside the house and even go to a sari-sari store nearby. So now every family member is now taking this stem cell, including me. And I would say that this FDA-approved food supplement has been the source of my peace of mind this pandemic. And that is why in my introduction, I had indicated that I am an oral stem cell advocate. This is in line with my philosophy that adaptation of ways to prevent diseases is of paramount importance. So because this stem cell can trigger regeneration or cellular renewal of damaged and aging cells, this can help in faster recovery of medical conditions while making one younger looking as well as its side effect. So by the way, this stem cell can be safely administered side by side with doctor prescribed treatment because it is a food supplement and it is not a drug, it is not a medicine. So it's just simply like eating banana or apple. And this is now the advocacy that I would like to propagate and share with everyone. Okay, so thank you, everyone. That's all.
Wow. You're such a very good speaker, TM Mabi Bautista. Now we know that you are advocate of placenta. And now, our second speaker, her introduction is so long, so that I maximize it for this. She is a graduate of in University of the East Manila, and as major in management in 1981. She is a Ribap Cavite president. Let us all welcome our second speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Cecil Mendoza, to be evaluated by DTM Luisa. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gerry. Good evening, everyone, my fellow CRBs and my fellow Toastmasters. I'm Cecilia Tabing Mendoza, born in Malagasang 2nd, Imus, Cavite, married to Guillermo Santos Mendoza, retired from Maynilad Water Services. I'm a proud mother of 3 children and of 4 grandchildren, 2 boys and 2 girls. I will relate to you how my father influenced me to become a contractor, a fabricator, contractor of steel in building houses. My father, Abelardo Tabing Sr., influenced me, or as to say, he forced me. He forced me to join our business at a young age. My family is into a jeepney business. We fabricate owner-type jeep and passenger jeepneys. Started by my uncle, who is the general manager, and my father, the operations manager, way back 1950. And my father got married. They part ways, and he started his own jeepney building business. At a young age, I am the secretary of my father at the age 9 years old. I am his secretary because my father and my mother, they didn't finish even elementary. They finished only grade 4. During my younger days, I played pickup stick by means of welding rod. I use the welding rod as my pickup stick. And in playing sungka, we use bolts and nuts as our stone. My elementary days, I helped my mother and father in entertaining our customers. I always prepare coffee for our customer. Almost a big feature, 3 times a day. 3 times a day and almost every day except when I'm in school. That's why I am not fan of drinking coffee nowadays. Once, my father is not a perfect father, but I love him so much. I started helping him, as I said, at a young age. Since I am the eldest in the family, I am his favorite to give tasks. When he is away buying materials, I was the one in charge of the deliveries. That is why, at a young age, he taught me how to distinguish the different kinds of materials uses in jeepney building, like steel bars, plane sheets, gauges, thickness, all of that. Handlebars, yung pipes, mga BI pipes, GI pipes, stainless pipe. Before, in distinguishing the thickness, we use the gauge. Gauge 20 and gauge 40. 40 is the thickest. But nowadays, we use light gauge and heavy gauge. Maybe because nowadays it's not the size is undersized. So they are using that heavy and light gauge. I always quarrel my father because why only me is always a task, giving task. My brothers and sisters are playing around, and I am, now that I am only in my teenage days, I realize he's doing this. Why he's doing this for me? He's doing this because he's preparing me for my future. And this verse strikes me always. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That verse is very true to me. So I started as kid, as a master in our business that day. When my husband passed, this is the second part of my story. My husband passed the doctor's exam in 1995. We have our realty business in 1995. And after a year, we started in the shifting from jeepney business to all kinds of steel. I became a steel fabricator, steel contractor in 1996. I learned that my experience from my father then changed into grills, gates, fences, trusses, roofing, steel windows, spiral ladders. You know, having your own business, we have mostly ups and downs. So, what inspires me? Always inspires me the verses in the Bible. Philippians 4:6-7. But in everything, I put everything to God, everything by prayers and with thanksgiving. Let your requests be known to God. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And my favorite verse, Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. That's all. That's my story. Thank you so much.
Wow, congratulations, TM Cecil Mendoza. Now I know why you are keen as bastard with regards to steel works and construction. Now we know your story, and thank you so much for sharing us. Now let us go to our third speaker. Our third speaker is also as a real estate broker, a civil engineer, and Batanggenyo, but married to Waray. He finished his Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering at Mapua Institute in 1985. And he's turning senior on February. So, going to dual citizenship. Now, without further ado, let us all welcome Toastmaster John Dimaano. Toastmaster June, are you there? Maybe he has lost his connection. By the way, TM June Dimaano will be evaluated by TM Ramnel Alday. While waiting to Toastmaster June, let us go to our fourth speaker. Okay. Our fourth speaker is graduated BS Administration at Polytechnic University of the Philippines, married with one daughter, and on her own realty. Let us all welcome our fourth speaker for tonight. Will be evaluated by DTM Ramed Borja at Toastmaster Rowena Mangampat. Take it away, Toastmaster Weng.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gerry. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. Good morning, my fellow brokers. Thank you for this opportunity. I am very excited and glad to do this with you. Something you would never guess about me. I was born in the City of Flowers, Zamboanga City.
Wow.
Looking back, my younger years was very simple. My everyday routine, playing patintero and pico, making toys made of papaya and coconut leaves, riding a carabao, and swimming in a river. A very, very typical provinciana. When I turned 7 years old, my parents decided to move to Pasig together with my 2 siblings. Our family started to experience the challenges of life. I began to witness the daily life difficulties and began knowing what it was like to be a poor. We live in a 15 square meters place, all in one room. There, you can see our living room, our kitchen, and a sleeping area at night. I finished my primary schooling at Bagong Ilog Elementary School, then secondary at Rizal High School, Pasig. School days were very hard and challenging. I sold pastillas for me to have a transportation allowance. My teacher even sponsored my field trip expenses, sorry, just for me to experience it. During college, plain lugaw and sardines were my best friend. I worked during summer to pay for my school expenses. I even brought my father's coin back to just pay for my first tuition fee. Before, my parents always reminded us to study hard so that everything will be paid off. I graduated a degree in Bachelor of Business Administration at Polytechnic University of the Philippines. A month after graduation, I got my first job at Universal Rubin Corporation. 6 after, I transferred to Automatic Center in I was hired by Profes and stayed with them for 15 years. Growing up, I noticed that I wanted my money to be spent wisely. I always think 7 times before I spend a penny. At the age of 24, I already got my first house, and that feeling was so surreal. Life had so many ups and downs, but this did not hinder me from working hard and achieving my goal. Year 2003, I successfully passed the PRC license for exam for brokers. Being a licensed broker has been a very helpful way for me to help others achieve their dreams too. I am now living in a 100 square meter house. I have my own car and can go to places whenever I want. I believe that if you really focus on your dream, through God's help, with hard work and patience, and guidance from the people who care for you, everything will fall on its rightful place. Thank you. This is Rowena Mangapad from General Trias, Cavite.
Wow, that's so so heart touching. So relatable story, Toastmaster Wang. Now we know your story, and by the help of Toastmaster Club, you will inspire others by your story. Wow. Now, let's go on to, it's back on to our third speaker, Team June. Are you ready now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Our third speaker now is ready. Team June to be evaluated by Toastmaster Ramnel. Take it away, Toastmaster June Dimano.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Who is June Dimano? Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow PRB Speechcrafters. Thank you very much for this chance to introduce to you who is June Dimano. I was intrigued to search for my information at Google, so I typed this question, who is June Dimano, and Google search bar. Although not so sure of what to expect for an answer. It turned out that there are several persons named June Dimano, who are actively engaged in social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I'm now here to point out to you which one is the right Yundimano, the one speaking to you right now. My full name is Rufo Dimaano Jr. Obviously, this name was derived from my father because of the suffix Jr. I was born in
I think he lost again his connection. That's the challenge of virtual meeting. So let's go to our PP speaker. Our PP speaker, commonly known as Christy, but I know she is Cristita. She is Cristita, and born in Davao, Lanao, Davao del Sur. Graduated Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, and she's also a licensed broker. Now, help me welcome Toastmaster Christy Saligomba to introduce herself. Toastmaster Christy, take it away. She is to be evaluated by Toastmaster Alex De La Cruz.
Hello everyone, good evening. First, I want to apologize for the last time that I wasn't able to cooperate with you guys during the last section because honestly, I wasn't able to conquer my fear of speaking in public, fear of to commit mistakes in my grammar, fear of speaking while my camera is on, and I'm also afraid to be heard in my Visayan accent because I'm an Ilongga at also Cebuano because I was born and raised in Mindanao, Lanao del Sur. So the reason why I turned off the mic after Habi's speech because I was afraid that I will be asked to speak. So honestly, during the PM and seeing my name as one of the speakers for this session is really a big challenge for me. But realizing on how this PM Speechcraft can help me build me confidence, overcome my fears, and hone my skills and make me a more better person. I decided just today with my whole heart. Ay, hindi mo ako naririnig? Sorry. The connection is really poor at this time. Okay, where am I? But realizing on how this PM Speechcraft can help me build my self-confidence and overcome my fears, my skills, and make me a more better person, I decided just today, with my whole heart, to join the club And I want to give a special thanks to CRB Gerry for this opportunity. To start with, I'm taita to my professors when I was in high school. Honestly, I have so many things. Sorry. That even myself, I am confused sometimes. My first name is okay. Tita. For when I was in primary, I was called Tita by my classmates and my teachers. But when I was in high school, I had so many names. My professor, some of my professors called me Tita. My classmates, Pets, my some Pets, and some is Tita. Yes, si Gerry, sir, how did you know my, that's my baptismal name. Yes, that's the Tita, my baptismal name. Then, I came from so I'm a second to the 8 siblings. My late father was a policeman, and with 8 children, my parents were really find it hard to send us all to school. So, being the second of the second from the eldest, I tried my very best to pursue my studies. At 17, I stowed away from I stowed away from my parents, and a friend offered me to go to Japan, and I followed her here in Manila. I came to Manila in February 1993, and then stayed in an agency for 3 months. Then I still can remember very well that it was during my birthday when we performed the ERB for Japan, and then we passed the NET. We passed. Then it was the first time that I attend a mass in Baclaran. It was the very first time that I was able to come out of the agency, because we already had attend that we have to attend that show. Then after that, going home, I met this man. I met this man. He is now, he became my boyfriend. He stalked me. Then he managed to get my number, and then ano nga sir? Sorry, very okay. To cut it short, I was able to finish study, and I was able to finish my studies. I graduated as a working student. I work as a working student. I work in Central Depository, and at the same time studying at night, taking up computer science, bachelor of science in computer science, and then after that I got married to an awesome man, which is also a member of Speechcraft. I am a proud mother of a wonderful son. I'm so blessed, and he is currently studying in college, and by profession, I'm a licensed broker, and I just love my job, and my passion is to help more and more families get their dreams and of owning a home come true. So that's my story. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Toastmaster Christy. Wow, really felt now your story, and thank you. And thank you very much for showing up for this meeting, and I'm sure that your fear you conquer your fear here, because I'm also like you. But because of Toastmaster, little by little, our fear will gone. Now, Toastmaster Jun, are you ready? Huh? I'm sorry for the lost connection of Toastmaster Jun.
Mag-subscribe, ring the bell, mag-like, comment, at i-share mo na.